TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. No. These guys are phenomenal. No. This gang is fun. No. This group is fantastic. That's what it is. Now, why are we fantastic? Because we're always learning, we're always sharing, we're practicing world skills. Recently, I learned from a Table Topics that the best New York style pizza is right here at Antioch and College at Original Pizza. Peter Frankel shared that with me. I also learned that you can process pecans from Mark Maish and make them taste better than right out of the bag. I also learned to have courage from our own Chad Austin. Thank you, Chad. But mostly what I've learned at TGIF is how to listen. Now, after I joined TGIF, during my 30 plus years in medical sales, I attended many lectures and conferences, PowerPoints, doctor on doctor speeches. I learned particularly from one incident. We were at a sales conference. There were several hundred people in this room, and we were all looking forward to hearing these two particular doctors speak. The first doctor was a well-known one, Dr. Mike Jansen from Denver, Colorado. Now, Dr. Mike got up on the stage, and he wowed us. He was like Johnny Carson. He was not afraid of us. We were afraid of him because he'd come in with his microphone and he'd look right at you and he'd ask you a question. And there you were in front of 400 people. He was bouncing around. He had eye contact with everybody. We were afraid of him. He wasn't afraid of us. After Dr. Mike wowed us, I was sitting there thinking in my Toastmaster mode, how can anybody, this next guy, it's going to suck for him. How can he follow him? Well, not only did he follow him, he topped him. It was like watching the Rolling Stones follow James Brown. This guy got up there and wowed us. Same topic, artificial disc technology. He wowed us. I was blown away. I learned from that. And you know what I learned? Never be intimidated by the speaker in front of you. Which leads me to my next story. A couple of meetings ago, some of you were here, some of you weren't, so I'm going to refresh and let you know what actually happened. There were 4 speakers. Suresh gave his icebreaker speech. It was a good icebreaker. Mark gave his pecan speech, a demo speech. We all got to eat pecans. Wonderful speech. Laura gave a speech. Very emotional speech. And I was to follow Laura with a tall tale that I had written and was so looking forward to giving. So Laura comes up here, and Laura, bless her heart, Mother Laura, I love you. You blew us away. Everybody was crying. I'm looking around the room going, I'm going to follow this. People are crying, then they're laughing, then they're crying. Then there was applause in the middle of the speech. Does anybody ever get applause in the middle of the speech? When does that happen? When does that happen? And finally, she showed us a picture of her baby that's coming. And we applaud. It was everything but a mosh pit and carrying her down the middle. So I get up and follow this. One of the things that I learned from Dr. Mike and his following was that the speech that followed him was that there was tremendous energy in this room. At that time, there was tremendous tension in this room too. Even though we were all happy for Laura, we had all just sniffled and cried. So I used that energy, I felt that energy, and I rode that energy in here to tell my tall tale. Now, big mistake. If you follow a real story with a BS lie, you're in trouble. However, I used the energy. I had already had my first phrase, my first words out were, my mother is Chinese, was Chinese. My mother was Chinese. And I looked right at Laura, who was sitting where Lou was, and I looked right at her. And I said, my mother was Chinese. Laura, I love you. She said later, so your mother was Chinese. Jesse says to me, you prey on these new people. No, I was just, I don't prey on new people. I love Mother. My mother is German, English, not Chinese. What have I learned from Toastmasters? All of that and above and beyond. Learn to improv, learn to use the energy, and don't be afraid to follow a good speaker. Thank you.